Legend of the Sapphire King. 2,000 years ago, the world stood on the edge of oblivion. From the deepest darkness rose an ancient being known only as the Void Sovereign, a creature of endless shadow that devoured kingdoms, poisoned rivers, and turned the sky black. Entire armies fell before it, and hope became nothing more than a fading memory. When all seemed lost, 5 warriors answered the world's call. They were not born as kings or queens. They were ordinary people chosen by the celestial gems, relics forged by the stars themselves. Each gem rested within a sacred weapon: the sapphire sword, wielded by the guardian of wisdom; the ruby axe, carried by the champion of courage; the emerald spear, borne by the keeper of nature; the diamond shield, held by the protector of light; the amethyst staff, mastered by the mystic of spirit. Alone, each warrior possessed incredible power. Together, they became legends. For 7 days and 7 nights they battled, the battle of the 7 days. For 7 days and 7 nights, the world itself became a battlefield. The Void Sovereign marched across the continents like a living apocalypse. Where it walked, forests withered, rivers turned black, mountains split apart, the sun disappeared behind endless clouds of shadow. Entire kingdoms united to stop it. Millions of soldiers stood together. Not one army survived. Their swords shattered against its dark armor. Their arrows vanished into the endless void surrounding its body. Nothing could harm it. Then, the 5 chosen warriors arrived. The Sapphire warrior stepped forward first. Raising the sapphire sword toward the heavens, he called upon the oceans themselves. Towering walls of water crashed into the Void Sovereign, while brilliant sapphire beams of energy rained from the sky like divine lightning. For the first time, the monster staggered. The ruby warrior roared into battle. His mighty axe erupted with crimson fire hotter than the heart of the sun. With every swing, blazing red beams tore across the battlefield, carving canyons into the earth and setting the darkness ablaze. The Void Sovereign answered with waves of black fire. The mountains exploded around them. The Emerald Warrior planted the emerald spear into the earth. The ground awakened. Ancient forests burst from beneath the battlefield. Gigantic vines wrapped around the monster. Dragons of living wood and beasts of nature charged alongside emerald beams of pure life energy. For a moment, the darkness was held still. Then the Void Sovereign unleashed its true power. The black gem at its heart pulsed. The sky cracked open. Creatures born entirely from shadow poured into the world. The Shadow Legion. Each one was powerful enough to destroy a kingdom. The armies of humanity returned to fight beside the 5 warriors. Thousands fell. The Diamond Warrior stood alone before the Shadow Legion. Planting the diamond shield into the ground, a wall of radiant white light spread across the battlefield. Every beam of darkness fired by the enemy struck the shield and was reflected back tenfold as brilliant white energy. Entire armies of shadows vanished in an instant. The Diamond Guardian never took a single step backward. Above the battlefield, the Amethyst Warrior floated into the heavens. The amethyst staff glowed with impossible power. Time itself slowed. Stars appeared in the daytime. Reality bent around the battlefield. Violet beams of mystical energy shattered illusions, healed allies, and opened portals across the battlefield, allowing the 5 warriors to fight as one no matter how far apart they became. For 7 endless days, neither side could claim victory. The world was breaking apart. The celestial gems were beginning to crack under the strain of their own power. The 5 warriors gathered together. Each weapon pointed toward the sky. The sapphire sword, wielded by the guardian of wisdom. The ruby axe, carried by the champion of courage. The emerald spear, borne by the keeper of nature. The diamond shield, held by the protector of light. The amethyst staff, mastered by the mystic of spirit. Blue, red, green, white, purple. 5 colossal beams of celestial energy erupted into the heavens. The beams intertwined, forming a single rainbow pillar that reached beyond the clouds. The celestial gems answered one another. Their power became one. The prism seal was born. The rainbow light descended upon the Void Sovereign, imprisoning it deep beneath the world's heart. Its roar echoed across the world before fading into silence. The war was over. But the Amethyst Warrior knew one final task remained. He stepped toward the imprisoned monster, reached into the center of its chest, and removed the black gem. The journey lasted many months. The Amethyst Warrior crossed kingdoms, rebuilding after the war. He sailed seas that had never been mapped. He climbed frozen peaks where no birds flew and no trees grew. The higher he climbed, the louder the black gem whispered. It showed him visions, his fallen friends, cities burning, his own face seated upon a throne of black crystal. The whispers became screams. Every step tested his resolve, yet he never surrendered. 10. At last, he reached the monastery of the Silent Summit, hidden above the clouds on the tallest mountain in the world. The monks had guarded the balance between light and darkness for thousands of years. Their Grand Master welcomed the weary warrior. "You have carried a burden no mortal should bear." The amethyst warrior knelt before him and carefully placed the black gem upon an ancient stone altar. The entire mountain trembled. Even sealed within sacred runes, the gem fought to escape. The Grand Master gathered every monk. Together they chanted an ancient prayer older than the kingdoms themselves. For 7 days and 7 nights, the monks and the amethyst warrior wove layers of powerful enchantments around the black gem. Chains of violet light wrapped around it. Ancient symbols burned into the stone. A crystal prison formed around the darkness. The whispers stopped. For the first time since the battle, the world was silent. 10. Before leaving, the Grand Master made a solemn vow. "As long as one monk still breathes, the black gem shall never leave this sanctuary." The amethyst warrior nodded. "Then my duty is complete." He turned to leave, but before he disappeared into the mountain mist, he looked back one final time. "If the darkness ever awakens, find my bloodline. They will know what must be done." Those were the last recorded words of the amethyst warrior. He vanished into history. Some say he returned home and lived out his days in peace. Others believe he wandered the world, watching over the descendants of the Five. And a few whisper that the amethyst warrior never truly died. That somewhere beyond the eastern sea, his spirit still waits for the day the Five are needed once more.